Hey y'all,
Hey,
I'm Shakur,
and I'm Ebony.
and welcome to the Unapologetically Us podcast, where we talk about life, mental health, fitness, finances, and everything in between. Thank y'all so much for joining us again. We're excited to be here again, recording, bringing more of our thoughts, feelings
On a random Monday.
again.
If you're new here, welcome. And we say at the end, but just gonna say at the beginning, hit that subscribe button. If you listen to us,
Like,
go ahead and
comment,
follow us, you know what I'm saying?
share, follow.
Rate us, all those good things.
Yes, please. We appreciate that. So, child, listen.
Okay, what's been up?
We're getting into it. All right. So, look,
Boom.
it's Christmas. It's Christmas just passed, right?
It was yesterday.
I am so glad it's over.
Ooh, not you glad it's over.
I am so glad Christmas is over, y'all. Like, it was stressful. And so I say that it was stressful because, for one, I did Elf on the Shelf, right?
Mm.
It look all fine and dandy on social media, and it's cute, it's funny, but it is exhausting. You hear me? Like, trying to figure out something every day. Babe, I be Elfie has went to visit Santa Claus for the week. No, for real though. On top of the Elf on the Shelf and trying to make her, being our elf is a girl. Her name's Elfie.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to put Elfie in different spots every day is something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So of course, my children, Jay kind of into it, but Malachi, he be trying to figure it out. He like, so how come she only get this high? Because that's just as far as I can get on the chair. That's why. But but it's tough. And then also trying to see what gifts you gonna get for your children who already have what they need, what they want. And so I'm just glad it's over. Merry Christmas.
Not you glad.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I'm pretty sure it's a couple of parents that's like, I'm so glad this.
Man, who?
I watched y'all opening gifts and y'all was happy to see what y'all got, but Lord,
And that's that.
Mama is tired, Daddy is tired.
That's it. That's it. Merry Christmas.
But child, listen, Christmas was yesterday, and all weekend I was just like, Christmas ain't Christmas like it used to be. I don't know if it's because I'm an adult and I don't have kids, but it just don't slap like it used to. I remember, man, just antsy come December 1st because you ready for December 25th because you done made your list of what you wanted.
Yeah.
The house had the trees up and the stockings on the fireplace, and Mama had the dining table decorated. That was the only time we really had like mats on the table for Christmas. And so I don't know, like maybe because I thought about decorating my place, but I'm like, because I'm like, who can take all that down?
Exactly.
And then I'm like, when you're not when you're in like what I call a transitional space,
Right.
I'd be skeptical of buying things that's tailored towards the space that I'm in, because I'm probably gonna have to go back and rebuy something if I was to move. So that kind of threw me for like, no, I'm not gonna buy nothing. But on top of that, I'm looking at people. I'm like, there was no Friendsmas, there was no matching pajamas, there was no. It was like you woke up Christmas like this was another day.
This is the day.
And I'm like, So I don't know. I was laying in the bed one night and I was like, you know what? 2023 is going to be different. I don't know how different. I mean,
it's going to be different.
It's going to be different.
Somehow.
If it's going to be me being more intentional about just planning more holiday things, maybe being more, hey y'all, let's have a friends night or something like that, or a friends list, or me and my mom and my siblings agreed that we're gonna do matching pajamas next year.
Awesome.
But yeah, it just didn't Christmas like it needed to. Yeah. Well, no, like what it used to. But I mean, overall, it was a good day. You be thankful for the day. Yeah. You be thankful for the fellowship. You do see family more, so you be thankful for that. But it just didn't give me that feeling of what it used to give.
Right. Well, I know what we did get was some cold weather.
Oh, Friday. Friday was cold, and then that wind.
That wind. Oh my God. That's what it was. It was the wind that had it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's December for sure. Not what we're used to in December, but what December is supposed to give. It gave.
I saw a post that said, I better not hear none of y'all people crying about it being cold on Christmas, talking about how cold it is. Cause I was like, but that was the thing too. Like I don't remember a December being that cold.
Me either. Not in a long time.
You know, but it was cold to the point like, who moving?
Yep. We standing here. Run me my gumbo real quick.
Run me something hot.
You ain't doing gumbo? We did not.
Oh, somebody slacking.
We did not. But, you know, if it continued to be cold, I'm going to do one.
I'm normally do one for New Year's, but
that sounds good. I'll take a gumbo for New Year's for sure.
I normally do one for New Year's. But it's going to be hot next weekend. We're supposed to go up to like 71 next week.
That's okay. I'm making up.
It's supposed to be like 71 degrees.
I'm making up.
I just don't need it to do nothing stupid the weekend after.
Right. True. Facts. Just continue with the good.
Give me some 50, 60 degree weather and I'm good. Don't give me nothing below with no rain.
Well, you know it's supposed to be raining next week, so.
But it's hot though, so I don't care about that.
Well, it's clammy rain. Nobody want to be hot and wet.
But I'm more worried about ice and snow.
True facts. Okay.
Cause I didn't miss snow then. Oh my! If y'all don't know, my birthday coming up. And I done been icing on my birthday, and that was not fun.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm need everybody to touch and agree. And I finally agreed on a party that I haven't canceled on yet. So
she don't have time to cancel. So.
I really don't no more.
It's happening.
But we gonna touch and agree that this weather don't cancel this party for me.
Don't worry, it won't. We'll still be there. Rain, sleet, or snow.
Y'all lie. Cause y'all
rain,
not.
sleet, or snow.
Anyway, child. Anyway, but no. Rain, sleet, or snow on Zoom. We will have that.
No. We will be there.
StreamYard.
we will be there.
We'll be having a party via FaceTime.
That'll be right up your alley too. So you, all right, child.
No, I am. It's not the party that I'm. It's not that. It's not that why I wanted to cancel it.
Okay.
But I mean, I want to have fun with my friends.
We'll post all about those knees when they start working.
And we will not post about knees.
We will. I will.
Don't follow her page. We're gonna make it private.
It's happening.
But anyway, let's get into today's topic. We actually have a topic question suggestion from a listener. I guess we can shout her out.
Shout out.
Miss Tony Carter. Tony says, are black kids going to HBCUs for clout, or is it because they are now aware of the safe spaces HBCUs offer?
Ooh,
that was a good question.
She's
a fellow HBCU alum of Arkansas Pine Bluff. I did it so she can come on the video because she watches the video, but she went to Pine Bluff or Dear Mother as she calls it. But anyway,
that's neither here nor there. It's an HBCU. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you know, we still love y'all.
Yeah, we do.
Anyway, so that was a good question.
That is a good question, and so that makes us think like, why do HBCUs
exist anyway?
why do we have them? You know, we know that an HBCU is a historically Black colleges, universities, and you know, I can appreciate them, of course, but being someone who wasn't as familiar or exposed to what an HBCU was, I kind of just fell into that, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on. But why does HBCUs exist? So, I'll tell you. HBCUs, which are historically Black colleges and universities, were founded to provide an institution for Black students if other admission was not allowed other places, right? Other universities wouldn't accept a Black student, a Black person, so HBCUs were formed.
So white people were letting us in their schools. That's basically what it is. And we like a lot of, you know, things you saw in history was like, well, if you ain't gonna let us do it, then we just gonna do it ourselves.
Absolutely.
And that's what made them go off and do HBCUs in the first place.
Yes.
Because of that, you know, one thing about this nation, when, you know, because feedback said go there, so let's go there.
They said go there.
One thing about this nation is they want to keep us down as much as they can. Okay. They don't want to see us, as much as they act like they want to see us thriving, they really don't. If you pay attention to a lot of the laws and things that's being shifted these days, the fact that we had that vote about wording in our states, or certain states had to vote about wording in the Constitution that was pretty much slavery. Yeah, that says a lot about how much backwards you want to go, or the changing of how they teach history. And but because of that, you know, you run into that situation of HBCUs being underfunded, and been underfunded for decades. Which is a good portion of our problem, but I wouldn't say it's all.
Right, not the whole problem entirely.
Because I think we both can agree, both being HBCU alums, you twice, you know, toot that horn. But that we know that there are some things that they need to change.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as like admissions, as far as, you know, living conditions, quality of living, quality of classrooms, quality of the campus, you know, as a whole.
Absolutely.
Needs to be renovated, updated, or whatever. I did see Southern's plan you saw that plan to do.
And it looks nice.
It looks really nice.
But even the updates and upgrades that they've made since we've been gone are like, I would have appreciated that when I was there. But, you know, with time comes growth and things like that. So that's true, you know.
And I feel like a lot of it is for some institutions. You have people in positions that are stuck in their ways.
Oh yeah.
And not just in you know, university standpoint. I got people in my job that's stuck in their ways.
Absolutely.
That have that mentality of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or you don't want to come into the times of the 2023 pretty much, because we pretty much there. You're still stuck in 1972.
Absolutely.
Or you back in 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Like, so that kind of sets us apart from other schools as well. And it makes us look down upon by other institutions, because you don't really, if you go to a Southern campus and you go to, let's just say, an Alabama campus,
different.
Or just an LSU campus, it's a totally different campus. But because people like to say, well, alumni needs to give back. We do have alumni that does give back. But if we think about it on a legislative or state legislative standpoint, we are chronically underfunded every year compared to all the other schools. Yeah, and not just with ours, but like just in the state period.
Right. And then even too with just the giving, we give back to our university as much as we can, but on a whole different level, just things that kind of been going on social media and things like that. Those people that are in higher positions that can give back, people from the city, people from the city in which the university is in, that is at a statute where they could give way more than what my little donation will be. We just don't have that, and we should.
Because they're giving it to the other schools. Let's just be real.
Right. You go and you have all the different sponsors, and granted, again, it's getting better. That comes with growth. That comes with people stepping up, saying things, speaking about the issue, about the thing as much as they can. And, for me, I'm going to always be an HBCU. You're going to always find the positive feedback coming from me, even with having a daughter or kids, basically, encouraging them to even consider the HBCU, because I said before, I'll never make my child go somewhere they don't want to go, but at the end of the day, I'm going to at least give the exposure so they'll know, because I don't want her to then be an adult saying, oh, I didn't even know that was there and I could have been, or I would have loved to have done that. I met somebody a few weeks ago who basically was like, oh, I wish I knew something about an HBCU. I wish I knew what that was, but I didn't. So I just went with where I knew. And she was kind of like, if I would have known, like I would have done that. I would have loved to have that support, that being around people that look like me, feeling like I'm being left out. I would have loved that, and so just having that conversation with somebody who don't know, is all the, conversation that I need, because I'm gonna go 100% into why HBCU for me, just being who I am. And so, yeah, we're underfunded. Yeah, we don't have everything that these PWIs may have, as many resources. We don't have the computer systems. We don't have any of that. But guess what? I can still come out and live in the world and know how to survive, know what I need, and I'm not expecting any type of handout, any type of anything from anyone. And I can say that my university definitely taught me that, taught me the things that I would know, because things aren't going to be handed to me, and it's not going to be made any easier based off of the way that I look, the way that I may decide to wear my hair, my braids, my puff, and just being somewhere where that's normal. It's not something that I have to hide. I don't have to straighten my hair. Like, I don't want my child to ever think that in order to get a job, in order to work somewhere, live somewhere, you got to have straight hair and be light skinned. No ma'am. But it was once upon a time in history too, where you would say, oh, you weren't going to be a dancing doll if you weren't light-skinned. And again, with time comes change, because, baby, I want to tell you one proud alumni I was to see, the darker skinned women, they're wearing their hair in natural states and things like that. Like, I love that. I love that. So I can appreciate the growth that even the HBCUs have gotten, but taken away from, oh, we have to look like the PWI in order to be accepted, and we don't. So, yeah.
So, do you think, because I feel like, in a way, thanks to 2020 in a sense, COVID and the George Floyd murder, Breonna Taylor murder, the Ahmaud Arbery murder, shine the light on PWIs and their responses to those events, because you have athletes, you have students, that are there, whether you have them there for affirmative action or whatever your reason for having them there, coming out and either expressing support or lack thereof, or saying anything at all. I think that the tide kind of shifted into more kids wanting to at least consider going.
Yeah.
Because you had older alumni of us saying, y'all don't have to go somewhere where you're constantly fighting to be accepted.
Absolutely.
Why not go somewhere where you're appreciated, where your culture can be appreciated, where you have on the podcast I was saying, you have like different versions of Black people. You have the preppy type, you have the earthy, the earthy people, you have the naturals, you have the straight hair, you have the 40-inch bust down, you have those who don't care about it, you have the, I hate to say nerdy, but for definition terms, the more nerdy types. You have the Greeks, you have the non-Greeks, you have different types of Black people who all have their own form of community, but it's still an overall of acceptance.
Yep, no matter which way you come.
So do you think that students are coming for clout, or they're coming for the safe space?
I think,
or you can say both.
that's what I'm more so leaning toward is both. I think there is a space where you're coming for the clout. Like maybe if I go to this school, this PWI or whatever, whatever have you, that I won't get the attention that I need on the football field, or I won't get the attention that I need in the classroom, and I'm gonna go to this smaller or less exposed type situation where I will shine. And so I think that, but I think overall, I probably would say for the safe space. And when I say the safe space, I mean being able to, one, learn who you are, where you come from, and not saying that that's what they're teaching us in the classrooms. That's not. But it's the gathering of each other. It's finding out what group you fit in, finding out yourself. Like, we're going to college 17 years old, 17, 18 years old. You barely know yourself. You're figuring out yourself without your parents. You figuring out what a friend is. You figuring out what type of relationship you want to be in. Like, you're just overall figuring out yourself, and being able to have that safe space for me. Like, I think I met my first friend the first or second day that I was there, and it wasn't I'm not gonna talk to you because of the way you look, or it was literally just regular conversation. You didn't have to look over you. Like, I wasn't not talking to her, oh, she looks like this, she looks like that. No, she looks like me. And feeling comfortable, feeling safe in being able to just go up to that person. And even if it wasn't just the students, it was even the staff. Being able to not being ashamed to say, hey, I don't know where this book is. Hey, I can't find this book, or I can't find this building or this classroom, and just being comfortable in that. Or where that financial aid line, because you'll see it. But I think that safe space, being able to have that, and that's one thing that I definitely want to teach my daughter. Like, this space, it's like being at home. Like, I can't even think of a single moment where I felt like this ain't the place for me. Like, not one moment. Even when you may have a class where you had a teacher that you couldn't understand, there was somebody else in that classroom that felt the struggle that you felt, and they were going to be comfortable enough to tell you that.
One thing about an HBCU, they're gonna have a foreign teacher.
They're gonna have a foreign teacher
teaching you biology.
It's already confusing.
You're not even a science major.
And now that's a word right there. But being able to come together, I'm probably gained good friends just from forming study groups. And not saying that other schools aren't doing that, but I'm comfortable. I don't have to say, oh, she's smarter, she's this, she that. No, guess what? Because we have no type of anything against letting each other know that we need help. It was a safe space for me. Going into the library, the staff member sitting up there is somebody that look like you, or like your dad, or your auntie, or somebody. It was no point where I was uncomfortable. Now, was some people mean as hell? yes.
Yeah.
Rude, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatnot. But we gonna get that in the real world anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think it's a more so for the safe space. I think there's a small portion that do come and will come for the clout, for sure.
I agree. I think it's both. I think you have students that are coming from a clout standpoint. My opinion, I think the clout standpoint will stem more from on an athletic situation. You when you're in high school, you want to go to a Power 5 or a school that will give you so much more exposure. Mm-hmm. And so, kind of like what some athletes do with junior colleges. I feel like some athletes go to a junior college to get exposure, and then hopefully that they can go walk on at a different school or get picked up at a different school. And then now with this transfer portal that you can have after each season, I think that makes it better. Like, hey, I went to this particular HBCU, I played this particular sports, these are my stats or whatever. And even if I may give up my scholarship here to go try to walk on over here.
Absolutely.
Because just being real about it, athletic exposure is going to be bigger at the other schools, because the one thing that we lack is not support. No. The fan support is that they're always going to have the better facilities. Mm-hmm. They're going to have because they have more money. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have more money because they have people, they have sponsors, TV, they're on TV more, all of those things, better facilities. So they're going to have that over us. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, of this topic portion, was they're not going to have us be neck and neck with them. No. They're going to always find a way to make something better. Yeah. From an athletic standpoint, I feel that some of those kids are coming for clout. Yeah. As a safe space, I do feel like the 2020 events or murders and the lack of support from institutions made kids made them look more into HBCUs.
Yeah, because now I feel more comfortable around my people.
Right. And it's like, if there's a matter that's important to me, I want to know that the school that I'm paying money to go to, because you have to pay money to go to the school, is going to support how I feel. Yeah. If it's a matter concerning me and my people, like, I remember people feeling like, because there were certain people who still had to go to work, during, like, go into an office after COVID. Yeah. I mean, during COVID. But after, the George Floyd murder, most businesses was back to business as usual. Yeah. There wasn't a call in to sit down and let's discuss what, how you guys, because the whole world watched this man die on tape. But I remember, and, take it how you feel, whatever. But I remember 9/11. Yeah. And that day, everything was shut down. Yep. Classes were shut down.
We went to school, everything.
Like, we were there, but wasn't nobody teaching.
Yeah.
Right. We had to watch
that day. The news. We were at school. I remember watching it on the TV, but afterwards we weren't. Not for a while.
We watched the news all day. Like, it wasn't just back to business as usual. They gave people time to mourn what happened. And so then you have this situation or whatever, and I'm not comparing the two, I'm just just stating the facts of what it is. You literally watched this man die at the hands of a police officer with his knee on this man's neck, pretty much. And the next day it was back to business as usual. The most they did was change their profile picture to black. A hashtag Black Lives Matter, but this report that I need still got to get to my desk at 12 o'clock. Absolutely. And there was no time to just sit back and just
reflect on what actually happened.
Or just reflect, but just like, it's not healed, but like, just allow your emotions to just take over and you feel what you feel. Like, there was no care to sit down and say, well, how do you feel about this? and you have a space. So you know what? I'm pissed the hell off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because why the hell did that have to happen?
Right. Yeah. And I can remember, of course, now that you say, you know, I didn't even think about it or feel it then, but
that's the
still
Holy Spirit,
going to work.
I'm trying on bringing it.
Girl, you know, just going to work. And of course, talking with coworkers, like we're watching the videos. You have some that's like, oh no, I can't watch that. And some like, man, this really had, like, I'm pissed. Like I was one of them, you know, that for the longest, I didn't want to watch it. And me, I'm a watch a video with no sound type of a person. But just watching it with no sound was better for me than watching it with the sound. Because once I added that sound, I was like, oh, I'm mad. Like I had to process and, like you said, feel your feelings and say like, what? What are we doing? Like, and you had so many different angles of why people were mad, you know, because at first, you know, I'm a really follow the law, follow the rules type of person. And so just watching it without the sound, it was like, just do what needed to be done. Do what they ask. And then it's like, but if they asking you something that's beyond your rights, why?
Right.
You know, and so in that moment, yeah, it made me, you know, just to kind of pull it back to the HBCUs, but it made you get closer or feel closer to your people.
Right.
You know, like I feel differently when I'm walking into a store that's not Black owned or whatever. You know, I can just this last Bayou Classic, you know, they have the different vendors setting up and serving food, selling different clothing, different. And my eye was literally on, which I could say I never cared about before, but just from the different movements and everything, like I'm literally out there like, where the Black owned people at? And you know, even with food, down to food, that we had two vendor places selling the same plate. And when we realized, oh, that's a Black man up back there cooking, and Des went and say, you own this, just yours? And he said, yes, sir. He said, oh, well, I'm giving you. We gonna, even though that plate may have looked a little better, but we gonna support the Black owned. My sweatshirt that I wore, and I still haven't posted, you know, my sweatshirt, my beanie I had on because it was raining. Those were Black owned businesses. And was there other? Yeah, but it was easy to pass them up and to say, I'm going to support. So that kind of pulls back to, is it for the safe space? It's for the safe space. I want to be able to give where other people won't. You know, I want to be able to get from my HBCU, from my university, something that
I won't get nowhere else.
I won't get nowhere else. And that means something to me. You know, it take my husband to tell you his feelings about HBCUs, but like I said, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it.
It's good to know, you know, yeah, HBCUs have a lot of foreign professors, but they also have a lot of Black ones too. And those Black ones, I know for a fact, you know, still keep in contact with certain students and stuff like that, because you have that chance to develop that type of relationship.
Absolutely.
That they understand, you know, your struggle in a sense. They understand that, you know, even while you're here, we all come from different backgrounds.
Yes.
We both went to predominantly white high schools. So my background was different. Yeah. Even though we both went to predominantly white high schools, my background was different from yours. Yeah. So you have all these people of the same culture, but from different backgrounds. That you may have to give this person a little more love and a little more care. You may have to give this person not as much, but maybe some guidance here or there or whatever. You had professors who knew that. And gave that space to come in and say, look, this is what's going on.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you had some that was like, you know, that's life, figure that ish out.
Yep. But
you also had some that say that's life, figure that ish out. But in the back of their mind, if you just show me that you trying, I'm gonna help you at the end.
Absolutely.
And so I think that because that opened a lot of people's eyes, that sent a lot of our kids back to our schools, which would transition to this last part. because we got these kids coming here, we have to do what we have to do to keep them there.
Yes.
Because we were talking about this at my 9 to 5. I recently got a raise. It was $1 an hour. And I was like, well, Lord, thank you for the $1. But when they was explaining to me like what they were trying to do, I said, well, let me tell you this. Y'all talked about my generation and how we hop from job to job to job.
With the quickness. What
y'all think these 22, 23-year-old people, you know, I can't say kids, they're not kids, but 23, 24-year-old young adults leaving college who have been exposed more at 23, 24 than I was at 23, 24.
Absolutely.
And so if I'm seeing, because Google is free, so if I'm seeing the average salary and this is all you can offer me, then no, I'm not going to take this.
Absolutely.
Or I'm going to use you as a stepping stone to get to the next place. Absolutely. So if you take it back to these HBCUs, I'm going to keep messing that up. To HBCUs, we have the kids that want to come. Now let's figure out ways so we can better our system to keep them coming. Because these kids are growing up where everything is electronic. You have kids now in high school with debit cards, cash what? Paper what?
Absolutely.
Email.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know how to work a Dropbox, Google Meet.
Because they starting young. Like I said.
And COVID made everything become virtual.
Yep.
So these kids at one point had to go to school virtually. Yep. So this standing in line and missing papers and stuff like that, which it may be a little better some places. I'm just saying from my experiences, if it's still operating like it was in 2009 to 2014 when I was there, and it's 2023, you're not going to keep them kids there. Yeah. Because I'd rather deal with the BS at this PWI, but at least I know my refund gonna come on time. My paperwork ain't gonna get lost.
Yeah. And that's real. You know, having to be in a position where we're okay with change.
Yeah.
You know, you talked a little bit earlier about those that are in those positions that are stuck in their ways, but baby, we don't have time to be stuck in our ways. And one thing that I know that kind of makes me mad about my university, that's all I can speak on is my university, but you know, I could remember being there and saying, oh, they need some different people in these positions. Like it's time to put this younger crew right in these positions where things can change. Because like you said, these young kids, young adults, they're growing up with more experience than somebody who's been in the system, been in the position for years and years. So then you go into the facilities and you go into these financial aid and admissions and things like that. And then you have the younger generation, our generation, still operating in the way that we were treated when we was there. No way. How are you still in a position that you're going to treat the person that was you the same way somebody else treated you? No, where is the growth? You come in and you do something different. Now, granted, in a few departments, there was somebody who's like, come on, babe, I can help you. But then there was two. Why financial aid needs to change. We got to do something different. When are we going to get someone in the position to say, let's do something different? Because we're not in a way where we're stuck in our ways. We know what being able to evolve looks like within our universities. We're going to continue to lose people. We're going to continue to have our children go other places if the change don't happen.
Because that safe space can only take them so far.
Yep.
Because you're also running into this thing of, you know, everybody accepting that college ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
Thing, which is not.
It's not.
But that also lowers your number of people willing to apply for admission.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, the thing now is making your social media professional account, getting your money from the Instagram, the TikTok, Facebook.
Why you gotta put the in front of them like you?
I know, I do that. It started off as being funny, and now it became a thing.
Facebook, the Instagram,
the Googles is free, but Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Mm-hmm. Like, get you a camera, invest in a camera, whatever, or your iPhone, and you can make you some videos, get your subscribers up, go viral, because that's what they trying to do anyway, go viral. And you making money off of doing it.
Absolutely. Taking
pictures and making videos.
Yep, absolutely. They doing it.
So it's like, to answer Tony's question, yes, I think it's both. But like, I agree with you too. I do think it's more of a safe space than just for clout. But because we offer that safe space, I just want our schools to just be more in tune to these students coming up, because you know, we were in that middle of respect your elders, stay in a child's place type of thing. These people coming up, the respect ain't given, is earned. What's a child's place? My feelings matter. My voice matters. I'm giving y'all my money, scholarship or not.
Yeah, facts.
And if you don't care about me, then forget it. I'm gone. So facts. We, need to be more in tune with them, or we gonna lose them. Or you're gonna have them. You're gonna have those there just for
the stepping stone.
Or like Southern has a good engineering program, and a good nursing program, and a good law school. That's it.
Yeah.
For other places, you don't want to go somewhere else. Yep. Because let's just be honest, they're not looking at. There are people that are still looking at, oh, you in here or you in here. I'm gonna go with them first, or I'm gonna interview you just for the sake of saying I interviewed you. But I know I'm gonna go with this person,
Yeah.
Or whatever. So. We gotta do what we gotta do to just keep them there.
Yeah, we do. It's tough. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to have all of that going on and still want to encourage the HBCU, but I'm always... Now, granted, I'm going to point out both sides, because I'm not only be on this side because of what, but I'm going to pull out the pros and the cons, and we're going to address it. Now, for me, it just the pros for me outweighs my cons. I'm gonna have them anywhere. I'm gonna have them anywhere, and I may have a lot more cons going to my HBCU, or I may not. For me, it wasn't. And so I continued to go, and I went in, I graduated, and I went back and graduated again.
It's kind of like a relationship. When you decide if you want to stay or go, you looking at the good and the bad, and if the good outweighs the bad, then you continue to go. And just from experience, the good, I was blessed not to have to deal with the financial aid aspect.
Me too.
But so for me, the good outweighed the bad. And those who did have to deal with the financial aid aspect still said, once you got through it, it was love.
And so when I say me too, of course I was in the financial aid line. I did that, but and I'm thinking about being in the moment. Yeah, I complained. Yeah, but it never made me say, I could be somewhere else. Because I can remember being in the financial aid line and somebody saying, LSU wouldn't have done us like this, and I'm looking back like, well, go to LSU. Like, why are we sitting here?
What this was gonna be?
You knew, and even if you didn't know, you can always right now get out of line and head over to LSU. It's 10 minutes away. So even in the classroom, we would have never had this. Okay, go to LSU. And so I can't remember a point, not a moment, where I felt like I want to go somewhere else. Never. Never.
Like I said,
no matter what, good or bad, I never wanted to go somewhere else.
I only applied to one school and one school only.
And that was all I wanted. One school. I wanted to go. And I went.
And when I had a little brief moment of considering my MBA, I knew where I was going. But
when I had the moment of where I'm gonna get my master's degree from, not a second did I think about another school. Not a second did I think about everything I went to.
A different option would have been if, with my work schedule, would online be the better option for me.
Yeah.
And I think they do have an online program now. I didn't really look, because I'm not doing grad school no more.
Right.
But if I would have explored that option further, that would have been the only thing that would make me be like, okay, but there's also something to, hey, let's kind of figure that out too, because the class aspect on the master level don't work for everybody. And the way I'm not changing. I have the perfect schedule, and I'm not changing it for a school. So if online works for me, then online is gonna work for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway,
that's good.
Time to wind it down.
Time to wind it down. Thank you, Tony, for that. Was a good topic. We appreciate that.
And as always, if you have any topic suggestions or questions, you can email us at the unapologeticallyuspod@yahoo.com.
Yes.
You can also go to our Instagram page at unapologeticallyuspod and shoot us a DM. Go comment under a random post. We do have a couple of question posts on there you can go comment under, which is what Tony did.
Yes.
But if not, you can always feel free to email us at unapologeticallyuspod@yahoo.com.
Yes.
This was a good episode.
It was good. It was.
Be sure to let us know in the comments how you guys feel. Those of you who went to HBCUs, I can say see again. HBCUs, about your experience, and then you can also weigh in on the topic as well. If you think that our students are going back for Clout or for the safe space, and you can tell why you chose an HBCU, an HBCU, whether it was for a safe space or just whatever was tradition, family legacy, whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All minds clear.
Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And until the next time, we will see you guys in the next episode.
See you later.
Bye.